This is a K2 Storm Tracker weather alert.
And K2 is still under a storm tracker weather alert as the Portland metro area prepares for more snow Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and overnight into Saturday. This is a live look over downtown Portland right now. It's cool, it's cloudy, definitely a break between weather systems.
Now, this morning, higher elevations saw anywhere from a dusting of snow to a few inches. Meantime, the blizzard warning in the Cascades and foothills ended at 4 o'clock this afternoon. That wind has subsided, allowing some ski resorts to resume their operations. There's now a winter storm watch for the mountains from tomorrow morning through Saturday afternoon. Good evening. Thanks a lot for joining us, everybody. I'm Steve Dunn.
I'm Deborah Knapp. Overnight places like Seaside and Vancouver got a dusting of snow. Vernonia got a few inches. Longview and Kalama got even more in some spots.
We're now in a bit of a waiting period until Friday when that atmospheric river could mix with cold air, bringing us snow to the valley floor.
Meteorologist Dave Salesky joins us, of course, monitoring every situation. Dave?
Yeah, so we've got a lot of things at play here over the next couple of days. We're going to start out with what we're keeping a very close eye on. So these are the threats we're watching as we head in towards late Thursday and going in towards Friday. So snow at low elevations onto the valley floor right now, a moderate threat for that. Cold air, Arctic air will be moving into western Oregon and southwestern Washington. Coldest temperature we've seen in quite some time across the area. Powerful gorge winds coming out from the east side of the state down the gorge. We can see some peak wind gusts over 50 miles an hour. That will drive the wind chill temperatures down to very dangerous levels beginning on Friday, going into Saturday and Sunday as well. We're talking the potential out there for perhaps sub-zero wind chill temperatures. So our weather headlines for the remainder of the afternoon, we've got some rain showers out and about, snow about the 1,500-foot elevation, and record cold temperatures coming, especially this weekend as we see overnight lows dropping down into the teens on Saturday and again on Sunday. So here's a quick look at watches and warnings. Now, beginning on Friday, we're going to be under a winter storm watch for the metropolitan area, Cascade foothills, and up into the gorge for the potential of seeing perhaps upwards of 1 to 6 inches of snow onto the valley floor. Certainly more going up into the Cascades and the Cascade foothills. I'll pull the map out. It's all going to depend upon where the next weather system goes into. We know the cold air will be in play. The question is right now, will the moisture be moving to the south of us or to the north of us? Now, at this hour, we have just some rain showers across the area. We're still seeing some snow showers in the Cascades and the gorge above 1,500 feet. Currently, up the touch mark in the West Hills. Again, we do have this. Cloudy skies, some light rain coming down in 44. Rain showers downtown Portland as well, as you can see, and 44 the current temperature with west-southwest winds now at 13 miles an hour. Our highs today, about average for this time of the year. 47 out at PDX. There's a 46 for you in Vancouver. Cooler at Kelso, 37 degrees, but there's the coast Astoria at 50. In Redmond, 37, and out east in Pendleton, you were 38 degrees this afternoon. Here's the hour-by-hour forecast. So between now and this evening, going into just some scattered rain showers across the area, have a weak little system right here dropping on in. We'll keep rain showers in the forecast for much of the day on Thursday. And then this next strong storm system arrives on Friday. And as you can see right here, we're seeing most of the moisture staying down to the south of us. We could see that, though, move north, and that could bring us in the possibility of seeing some very low snow on the valley floor as we get in towards late Friday and going in towards Saturday. Our computer models right now are a little bit conflicted on where the moisture will go, but so far they're indicating most of that will stay down to the south of us. So our 7-day forecast tonight, 35 for the overnight low. On Thursday, we have light rain and rain showers. Rain or possibly rain-snow mix here for you on Friday, 35 and 38. By Saturday morning, morning lows are in the teens. Afternoon high temperatures are in the 20s. So again, if we see any precipitation, it'll be staying on the ground in the form of snow. 17 to 28 for you on Sunday. Even colder on Monday, and then gradually warming up into the 30s for daytime highs on Tuesday and Wednesday. And by Wednesday, we could see a mixture of some freezing rain or rain and snow mix early in the day. Back to you guys.
Dave, thank you. From the 211 call center to the Office of Emergency Management, agencies across our region are gearing up for high demand between now and Sunday.
K2's Megan Allison joins us live in northwest Portland. And Megan, how are things looking in those higher elevations right now?
Well, Steve, right now it's just drizzling up in the West Hills, but behind me you can see there's still some snow on the ground from earlier this morning. As the community braces for the potential of more snow and ice in locations like this one, agencies tell me they're taking lessons learned from previous weather events to make sure they're prepared for anything.
Following the 2021 heat dome, the Oregon Department of Human Services created an Office of Resilience and Emergency Management. Since then, Ed Flick tells us his team has worked to do everything from providing trainings on severe weather shelters to distributing generators to get those locations up and running. Flick says they're also ready to volunteer their own staff if needed.
Over the last couple of years, we've activated DHS employees to include both members of my office as well as employees from local DHS offices over 70 times to support local warming and cooling centers with staffing.
At 211, the CEO tells us they've added staff and will be communicating with Multnomah County leaders every day leading up to the weekend.
Just having the team prepped on talking points and how to triage through with somebody that might be on the streets and what is it they need? Do they need medical attention? Should it be a 911 call? Should they be going to shelter?
Now, if you see someone on our streets who needs help during severe weather, you can call 211 or visit 211info.org for more information about shelter space. If it looks like an emergency, call 911. For more information about how you could volunteer at a shelter space, visit our website, KATU.com. Live in Northwest Portland, Megan Allison, KATU News.
Megan, thank you. Let's take a live look now at Highway 26 at Government Camp. It's been a familiar scene, a lot of snow-covered roadways up there. You can see plows off in the distance. Wind has died down. Visibility has improved. If you need to pass over the passes, be sure you have your chains, traction tires. There's also a towing restriction in place. It's a good idea to pack an emergency kit, which includes extra clothes, blankets, food, and water.
Meantime, in the state of Washington, conditions have improved at Snoqualmie Pass. There was no snow on the surface of I-90, but there's still snow and slush on the sides of the road. Many truck drivers who had to pull off and park overnight were finally able to leave this morning as conditions improved. WashDOT advises people to use traction tires. This is a change from yesterday when chains were required and I-90 was shutting down at times. Drivers who had to stay overnight are happy they could finally get going this morning.
Puts me closer to being back with my family, and being done with this load.
With conditions changing and colder temps on the way, good idea to check the WashDOT website before you head out. K2 team is monitoring this winter storm around the clock. When we're not on the air, you can always find updates on our website, KATU.com, and our social media pages.
A man is dead after an officer-involved shooting at the Golden Knight Motel in Gresham. Happened Tuesday night near East Powell Road and Elliott Avenue. Police say at least one officer fired their weapon, hitting and killing the man. A multi-agency team is now investigating.
This morning, Portland police responded to a shooting on North Portsmouth Avenue and North Cecilia Street. Officers say one person was hurt and taken to the hospital, but is expected to survive. Now, police say the suspect ran off. They have not arrested anyone. The enhanced community safety team is investigating.
And some new information tonight. Portland police have arrested a man they say shot another man yesterday afternoon in northeast Portland. Officers arrested Jared Yatton-Cloud this morning near 128th and Stark. They say he's involved in the stabbing death of a man in northeast Portland.
And Portland police are trying to track down at least two vandalism suspects. They say the two were connected to multiple graffiti events in Portland, including damage to a memorial. They were last seen driving an older silver Toyota RAV4. If you know anything about these guys, call Portland police.
Boeing has potential liability because the company is ultimately responsible for the structural integrity of the aircraft.
It's been less than a week since a door plug blew out of an Alaska Airlines flight over Portland, and already there's at least one lawsuit looming.
Victor Park joins us live from PDX, and Victor, an attorney in Southwest Washington, says he plans to sue Boeing in Alaska on behalf of one of the passengers.
Oh yes, in fact, a young man who was aboard that Alaska flight on Friday is planning to sue. And just within the last 24 hours, Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun is acknowledging the blowout was a mistake from theirs.
My client was relatively close to where the door plug blew out, and the closer a passenger is to that blowout, the more traumatic the experience was going to be for them.
Attorney Mark Lindquist is representing a college student who was on that Alaska flight. The potential lawsuit comes as Boeing's CEO Dave Calhoun is admitting the company made mistakes.
We're going to approach this, number one, acknowledging our mistake. We are going to approach it with 100% and complete transparency every step of the way.
Meanwhile, in an exclusive interview on GMA, a mother and her son are sharing stunning new details about what went on inside the plane.
I reached over and held his hands, and we literally thought that we were going to die.
Saisor-un and 12-year-old Josiah were sitting in the row right behind the door plug when it flew off the plane, taking Josiah's phone and stuffed animal with it.
You would just hear a big boom. It was silent for like 1 second, and then you would just feel and hear a lot of air going around, freezing cold air.
And this afternoon, Alaska told KATU they are squarely focused on providing a safe operation for their employees and passengers. But in response to this potential lawsuit, Alaska said, quote, "We currently remain focused on closely supporting the NTSB during this investigation, along with continuing our ongoing communications with Boeing and the FAA to safely return our 737-9 MAX aircraft to service." It's unclear when Lindquist plans to file that lawsuit in court. Live at PDX, I'm Victor Park, KATU News.
All right, Victor, thank you for that tonight. We have new information. Harney County Judge Robert Raschio has entered the final order striking down Measure 114, Oregon's voter-approved gun law. This means it's the final judgment of the trial court, but this case is not over. This past November, the judge found that the law violated the state constitution. Voters passed it in 22. It required gun owners to complete a background check, a gun safety training course, along with implementing a permit to purchase program and a ban on high-capacity magazines. Oregon's Attorney General still plans to appeal. The Department of Justice says the case will now move to the Oregon Court of Appeals.
2 Washington state lawmakers are backing new legislation that they say is critical to improving public safety around construction cranes. This comes nearly 5 years after a crane collapsed in Seattle's South Lake Union neighborhood, killing 4 people. Lee Stoll from our sister station in Seattle has a look at what the bills aim to change.
Supporters say it is critical to make these safety changes as Seattle continues to top lists of U.S. cities with construction cranes.
It's been nearly 5 years since a 300-foot crane collapsed from the top of the Google building in South Lake Union. 4 people died, including 19-year-old Sarah Wong. The car she was in was crushed.
We lost a cherished daughter, and our son lost his only sibling.
This is only the second time her parents have been to the site. Now that the investigation is complete, they're speaking out about it for the first time.
It's really hard to come back here and just always be reminded of her.
A jury in King County found the operators responsible for the collapse and awarded over $150 million to the victims.
At this point, we've reached the limit of the changes that we can make without changing the law. So now we're going to change the law.
State lawmakers Noel Frame and Julia Reed are pushing new bills they say will improve public safety near tower cranes with 3 key steps: designating a safety zone when a crane is assembled and disassembled, permit process improvements, and misdemeanor charges for companies that violate these regulations.
We think that this creates a structure that is going to protect people.
That was Lee Stoll reporting. She asked why it took 5 years to introduce legislation that they say is critical. Senator Frame said they had to get through the investigation and legal process. The bills have 2 hearings this week. That's it for this special edition of KATU News.
Be sure to tune in after NBA basketball for the latest headlines and your complete forecast ahead of the expected winter storm. Dave is all over that one. Have a great night, everybody.